Is abstract horror a thing? I feel like it's a thing. And I feel like that's what this was. Hey Twisted people, it's your Twisted Woman here, Chauncey K. Robinson, and today I am doing a review of the Shudder original film, Lucky. Luck isn't with self-help author May Ryer lately. Her books aren't selling, and when a masked intruder breaks into the house she shares with her husband, no one seems concerned. Even the condescending, investigating cop says she's lucky things didn't go worse. But then they do, as the attacker keeps appearing, continuing to terrorize May with an almost supernatural ability no matter how she fights back. I think Lucky is an ambitious horror film. And I think it gets some things right and it takes some chances that actually do pay off. But I think there is also a mixed bag there when it comes to other elements that don't necessarily land as well as they could have. The atmosphere of this film is unsettling right from the jump. It's one of those things where it's like things are normal, but they're not. And it very much plays on your senses as a viewer, which I appreciated. I was watching and I'm like, something's kind of unsettling here, even though normal things are happening. I appreciated the themes in this film, such as the question of gaslighting, the question of women having safety or ever truly feeling safe in society. I thought those were cool things to tackle in a horror film, right? I think at times it really drove home the message in subtle ways. And in other times it was a bit heavy-handed. And I think that might be polarizing for some because this film definitely has a message. There is a message with this film that things are a little bit on the nose because there's an element to this that is heavy on the symbolism. And because it's heavy on the symbolism, and once you catch on to what the symbolism reflects, then it becomes very obvious to you. And I think that's when it feels a little heavy-handed once you get kind of what's happening in the film. And if you are someone who wants something that's more of a popcorn kind of feel where it's like, oh yeah, jump scares, cool, then this may not be for you. This film is very heavy on symbolism. It's so heavy on symbolism. And that works at times, the symbolism, what things represent, rather than them being literal representations, works sometimes for the storytelling. Other times it goes on for a bit longer than I think feels satisfying for the viewer. Of course, since this is a horror film, the question is it scary? I think there are elements that will play on things that you are scared of, depending on the kind of viewer you are, depending on what grouping you belong to when it comes to what this film is trying to say. There are things that may affect you. My main issue with this film is that I feel like it is drawn out a little longer than it needs to be. And it was times when I was watching this where I thought to myself, this would be a really cool Twilight Zone episode. I honestly thought that, but we all know Twilight Zone episodes are usually about half an hour, right? To like 45 minutes or so. And that's all they need to be. And I kind of felt that way with this. I was like, this would be a cool concept for a shorter span of time. And speaking of the mystery itself, when it's finally revealed, I don't know if it's as satisfying for the length of time it took to get there. And I think that may also be polarizing for some people who watch this because you present a mystery, right? That the mystery is presented in this story very early on. And you are basically watching, and I would think what really fuels you to keep going with the film, aside from the good acting, because there's good acting, there's a great kind of atmosphere that's created, is the revelation of what this thing is, what is going on here, because there's a mystery throughout this whole film. And so you kind of want a payoff. And I feel like the payoff was left open-ended, so it wasn't really a payoff. And if you're going to have your audience wait that long, for as long as it did, for that reveal, you gotta bring it. And I feel like the film fell short of landing the ending in that regard. The triggers for this film are gaslighting and reference to assault. My final grade for Lucky is C+. Okay, Twisted People, that is my review of the Shudder original film, Lucky. Let me know if you've watched the film, comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos. Thanks for watching.